Hey everybody, so I'm looking at Calculate 84 and we're about to do a lesson on complex numbers in Algebra 2. Really quick, Calculate 84 acts like a graphing calculator. So if you actually go in the mode button, which is the second row mode, there's a lot of choices in here. In the middle of this, it says real, complex, and polar. If you switch the calculator to complex, then go second quit, what I can do is actually use imaginary numbers. Now, imaginary numbers sounds like fake math, but it's real news. It's not fake news. If I do the square root of -4, that should not be possible because the square root of a negative is not something we can do. But if you set it to complex, there's this whole world of imaginary numbers. So an imaginary number would be something like this. So an imaginary number, that negative comes out, it turns into the letter I, and if we square root the 4, we should get 2i. So hit enter, look at that, it actually produces 2i for us on this graphic calculator. Now this can actually help us quite a bit. So if I do the square root of -28, here's what I'm going to expect you to do. You're going to notice, oh look, it's got an I on the end, but then it's got this crazy decimal. Now that's a rounded decimal. I'm going to need you to get out a piece of scratch paper at this point, and you're going to have to simplify the radical. We did a whole chapter on radicals. You can do that, but then just remember the I is going to go with the outside number in your final answer. So I believe it's going to be 2i root 7 for this problem. Now we can actually do really complex stuff, and we can actually put I in the problem. So for example, if I type 2i, down by the decimal, the very bottom of the calculator, above it in blue in this screen is an I. So if I go second decimal, I get 2i, and I can add that plus 3 plus another, let's say 5i, and I can actually add all those up, and it will actually add those and make what's called a complex number. You can't add them because it's sort of treated like a variable, even though it's a square root of -1. But that's what you're going to do. So you could actually multiply these. So 2 plus 3i times, whoops, not minus. Let me delete that. Times the 5i. It will do that for you. It'll actually do all of the basic computational math for you. So really, today's assignment, after you do the YouTube video on this topic for the real lesson, you can use your graphing calculator to do all of this. So take advantage of this. If you've not downloaded Calculate 84, it is a free app. You should go ahead and download that. I think it's worth it to you. And take advantage of this feature. It is a game changer.